In a year defined by rapidly shifting global defense dynamics and a surging wave of technological integration into military assets, Kenya has now emerged with a game-changing innovation of the Hypersonic missile. In 2026, the Kenyan defense sector, known for its adaptive modernization and regional ambitions, has introduced a hybrid missile system that fuses advanced sonic propulsion with cyber-integrated guidance mechanisms. This cybersonic missile represents Kenya's strategic intent to elevate its deterrence and response capability not only regionally but also as a demonstration of growing African defense autonomy. The story of this missile isn't just about speed or range, though it boasts both. It's a signal. A signal that Kenya is no longer a passive observer of 21st century warfare developments. It is now an active participant and innovator, challenging outdated perceptions and surprising analysts worldwide. To understand the full impact of this missile, we must dive deep into what it is, how it works, what led to its development, and what it means for the future of East African security and geopolitics. Let's start with the foundation. What is the Hypersonic missile? The 2026 Kenya Hypersonic missile is a hypersonic-capable, AI-integrated, precision-guided missile system designed for both land-to-land and sea-to-land operations. It combines next-generation propulsion technology, namely, sonic-boosted scramjets with a cutting-edge cyber navigation system. The name Hypersonic encapsulates this dual-domain fusion, high-speed sonic propulsion, and advanced cyber warfare resistance and control. According to Kenya's Ministry of Defense, the missile was developed under a joint program with local tech defense startups, supported by foreign advisors from South Africa and Turkey, with engineering input from private firms in Nairobi and Eldoret. The missile is 6.2 meters in length, weighs 1,900 kilograms, and is capable of hitting targets up to 1,200 kilometers away with sub-meter accuracy. It reaches speeds of Mach 5.8 in terminal phase, placing it just into the hypersonic realm. But what sets it apart from traditional missile systems? First, the Hypersonic's propulsion system relies on a hybrid sonic booster and air-breathing scramjet. This allows the missile to launch rapidly, cut through various altitudes, and sustain high speeds without a significant thermal signature. Second, its guidance system is cyber-resilient and AI-augmented. The missile uses quantum-encrypted communications with ground command and features a real-time adaptive AI that recalibrates its flight path mid-air, responding to jamming, decoys, or electronic warfare attacks. Third, it is equipped with a counter-A2/AD, anti-access/area denial, suite, allowing it to penetrate defended zones by simulating radar reflections and altering its digital signature, making it difficult to detect until the last few seconds before impact. Now, why did Kenya feel the need to develop this weapon? To answer that, we must look at the shifting security landscape of East Africa in the early 2020s. Kenya has long faced regional instability from al-Shabaab's cross-border insurgency threats, to maritime disputes in the Indian Ocean, to evolving geopolitical tensions in the Horn of Africa involving global powers like China, the US, and the UAE. The push to modernize wasn't just about prestige, it was about survival and deterrence. After the 2023 Somali drone infiltration and the 2024 border standoff with South Sudanese forces equipped with imported Iranian tech, Kenya's National Security Council initiated Project Horizon, an umbrella modernization program that included AI warfare, unmanned vehicles, and advanced missile systems. The Hypersonic missile is the crown jewel of this initiative. But what does the missile actually do on the battlefield? Imagine this scenario. A high-value enemy command center is located 900 kilometers away across rugged terrain, beyond radar coverage, shielded by anti-air defenses. The Hypersonic missile is launched from a mobile TEL platform stationed in northern Kenya. It lifts off, engaging its sonic booster for the first 30 seconds before switching to scramjet propulsion. While in mid-flight, it receives encrypted satellite data, recalibrating to avoid an unexpected Patriot SAM system detected en route. As it nears the target, it enters a high-speed dive, making detection nearly impossible. Then, in its terminal phase, the warhead splits into a cluster kinetic payload and EMP burst, disabling enemy electronics seconds before impact. All this happens in under 7 minutes. Let's now discuss how this technology was developed. Much of the propulsion design was based on Kenya's access to open-source research and declassified propulsion data shared through African defense partnerships. Kenya's own National Space Secretariat, initially formed for satellite launches, contributed heavily to trajectory simulation and heat resistance modeling. Cyber integration came from local firms like Nairobi Tech Dynamics and Thaka Robotics, who have been developing drone command software since 2020. These companies used Kenya's burgeoning tech talent pool to build a missile-borne AI that could make autonomous course decisions without compromising national control. The cyber resilience factor is another standout feature. With modern battlefields now targeted by cyber attacks more than kinetic strikes, the Hypersonic missile has built-in redundancy in its navigation systems. If satellite signals are jammed, it switches to terrain contour mapping. If GPS is spoofed, it reverts to inertial navigation, cross-checked by AI-analyzed satellite imagery stored on board. This gives the missile a near-unbreakable navigational framework, something only seen previously in systems developed by the US and Russia. And now, the biggest question: where is this missile deployed? While Kenya has kept exact deployment locations classified, several defense analysts suggest that the Hypersonic missile is housed in underground launch bunkers near Isiolo and Lamu. The Lamu location is strategic, offering maritime launch options against threats in the Indian Ocean. Isiolo provides a central location for rapid launch coverage across both northern borders and the Somali coastline. Kenya has also equipped at least 4 modified M270 MLRS-type vehicles with vertical launch modules specifically designed for the Hypersonic platform. This mobility ensures survivability during conflict and quick redeployment when needed. In terms of warhead configurations, the missile is modular. It can carry 1. Kinetic penetrator warhead A for hardened bunkers or deep enemy HQs. 2. EMP payload A for disabling electronics before a larger assault. 3. Precision fragmentation warhead A for anti-personnel and soft-skin targets. 4. Submunition cluster payload A for wide-area strikes. Kenya's military has emphasized that the missile is strictly for defense and regional deterrence, but its capabilities suggest it could be used in preemptive strikes if an imminent threat is confirmed. So how are neighboring countries reacting? Ethiopia and Uganda have both issued cautious statements recognizing Kenya's right to national defense but have accelerated their own modernization programs. Uganda, for instance, is seeking to purchase Turkish drones and Israeli radar systems. Tanzania has begun working on improved air defense grids around Dar es Salaam and the coastal belt. International reactions have also been mixed. The U.S. Department of Defense has applauded Kenya's responsible technological development, while China has expressed interest in understanding the AI integration used in the guidance systems. Russia, meanwhile, has offered to share hypersonic simulation environments in exchange for access to Kenya's missile AI. Critics argue that Kenya's move could spur a mini-arms race in East Africa. However, supporters believe it's a wake-up call, a message that Africa will no longer be the testing ground of foreign powers but a developer of its own defense solutions. Another important point is cost. The average production cost per cybersonic missile is reportedly around $3.50 million, making it significantly cheaper than most Western hypersonic systems, which range between $10 to $15 million. This cost efficiency is due to Kenya's reliance on local materials, modular assembly, and reduced dependency on foreign components. This makes the missile not just a weapon, but a potential export product. Kenya is reportedly in talks with Ghana and Nigeria for potential exports under a license-controlled framework approved by the African Union. This would allow regional allies to access advanced deterrence tools without relying solely on foreign nations. Let's briefly cover the technological challenges that had to be overcome. 1. Heat resistance. Sustaining Mach 5+ speeds created massive thermal loads. Local metallurgical labs developed carbon-titanium alloys for the missile nose cone. 2. Data link lag. Kenya's satellite bandwidth was limited in 2023-2024. The country partnered with SpaceBridge to install dedicated low-orbit relays in 2025. 3. AI bias drift. Early versions of the AI misinterpreted terrain features, resulting in simulation errors. A Nairobi-based AI ethics board worked with military engineers to correct this. Despite these hurdles, the final version of the missile was successfully test-fired in April 2026 from a coastal platform, landing within 1 meter of the intended target in open desert terrain. Finally, let's explore the future potential of the cybersonic missile system. Kenya's Defense Ministry has already announced plans for a second-generation variant by 2028. This version will include space-capable trajectory arch for orbital re-entry, swarm control for coordinated multi-missile strikes, onboard countermeasure deployment, chaff, flares, integration with future unmanned aerial strike drones. Moreover, the AI on board the missile will be updated via a secure over-the-air protocol, meaning Kenya can improve target recognition, navigation precision, and counter-electronic warfare logic without physical upgrades. In conclusion, the 2026 cybersonic missile isn't just another entry into the global missile arena, it's a bold declaration from Kenya. A declaration that African nations are no longer just importing tech, they're creating it. And with this, Kenya has not only redefined its place in regional defense strategy but also contributed a new chapter to the global conversation about accessible, intelligent, and modern warfare technology. As we continue to monitor its deployment, reaction from other nations, and potential future variants, one thing is certain: Kenya's cybersonic missile is a leap, not a step, into the next era of defense innovation.